everyone. My name is Ashley Sudano, and this is my Three Worlds video presentation. The passage I decided on was Matthew 18, verse 21 through 35. So in the literary world of Matthew 18, 21 through 35, the story basically goes that the kingdom of heaven is just like a king who's trying to collect debts from his servants. So they're using the analogy that heaven is like a king trying to collect debts from his servants. So in the story of Matthew 18, it tells of a king who showed mercy on one of his servants. He went to collect his debt from him, and that servant did not have the money to pay back his debt. So the servant got down on his knees and begged the king for mercy and for more time, saying, "Please don't take me to jail. I will pay back my debt. I just need more time." So the king forgave the man's debts and set him free because he was showing mercy on him. So the servant went on his way. Well, the servant went to the village and in turn tried to collect a debt from a fellow servant that owed money to him. So that servant didn't have the money to pay back his debt to his fellow servant. And instead of showing mercy on that servant like the king had showed mercy on him, he threw that servant in jail until his debt could be collected in full. So the people of the village heard of this, and they went back and told the king that, this servant had tried to collect the debt from a fellow servant, and because he was not able to pay, he threw him in jail. So the king, knowing that he had just showed mercy upon this person, called for that servant, and the servant went back to the king. And the king basically asked, "If I showed you mercy for the same thing, why did you not in turn show mercy to this other person?" So then, as a consequence for not showing mercy to the other servant after he had been given that, the king sent the servant to be tortured until he could pay back his debts. So basically what I got from that passage in literal meaning is, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This servant asked for mercy from the king, and the king gave it to him, but then that servant was not willing to show mercy for the same matter to another person. So in the historical world, I thought it was important while reading the passage to understand the different roles in society that were played back then. In today's world, we don't have kings, we don't have servants. So that was a little bit different, and it was important to understand that that's how things were done back then. It was also different to understand the consequences. Today, our consequence is not to be tortured, it's to go to prison or to jail. So it was kind of interesting to see the differences and how it can be the same situation even today. If a debt is not paid, you could be sent to jail if you don't pay your fines, but you cannot be tortured until your debts are collected. So in the contemporary world for this Matthew passage, I chose this passage because I felt that it resonated very well with the world that we live in today. Basically, the golden rule: treat others the way that you wish to be treated. We teach our kids this in schools. The kids are taught this. You're constantly telling the young ones, would you want somebody to hit you? So why would you hit somebody else? If you have a debt and you beg for mercy and are forgiven, the right thing to do in turn is to show someone else the same mercy as you have been shown. The verses are basically saying Jesus will show you mercy. If you ask for forgiveness, Jesus is going to show you mercy. But in turn, you have to show the same mercy to other people. You have to be good to other people. Otherwise, Jesus is not going to be good to you. There are so many hypocritical people in this world, and they expect things to be given or done for them when they're not willing to do the same thing for somebody else. And I think that's one of the hardest lessons we learn in life, is not everybody is going to do for you what you do for them. But that's what Jesus wants us to do. Jesus wants us to show people the same grace and the same mercy and forgiveness as we want to be shown by other people. Thank you.